of their bench. And here is a key member with Eric Hasseltine.
Lorenzen Wright, the last game against the Los Angeles Lakers, obviously a tough pill to swallow. You have the 1-point lead, and Shaquille O'Neal ties it up. But overall, a good growth experience for the ball club.
Most definitely. There are some things that we probably could have done different, but we're going to learn for those type games, and eventually down the season, those will be games that we'll pull out.
The team seems to be getting more comfortable under Hubie Brown. Are you more comfortable in the role that you're playing now, knowing that you're going to be in with that second unit, knowing the minutes that you're going to get, and knowing who's going to be on the floor with you?
Oh, it feels a lot better, knowing that you're going to be out there on the floor at all. Used to be you wouldn't know if you were going to even play that night, so you would have never knew where you stood. But now at the 6 minute mark, there's a chance that you might be going in. So you're mentally ready, and you're ready to get out there and you're ready to play ball.
Talk about some of the key differences you see from the beginning of the season to right now with this ball club.
Just the intensity level. Everybody's ready to pick up their intensity on offense and defense. And more guys look like they're more confident out there on the floor. Everybody's playing ball together, and that's the biggest thing, is playing ball together as a team.
Today's opponent, the Toronto Raptors, they like to get physical down low. Antonio Davis, of course, they have Vince Carter, but this is a very good basketball team that struggled early on.
Oh, yeah, they struggle just like we've struggled, so hopefully we can come out and jump on them early and get us a win.
Is it difficult to switch from 7 o'clock and 7:30 start times to going to a 3 o'clock start time on a Sunday afternoon?
Not really, because once you get inside the gym, you don't know what time it is. You're just out there ready to play ball, and you don't know if it's 3 or 7. So we just get out there and do what we do best, and that's play basketball.
Lorenzen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll come back with the Toyota starting lineups right here on the Grizzlies Television Network.
The Big E, Elvis Presley. And how could you not know that suit right there was worn in the Aloha in Hawaii concert? Beamed out throughout the entire world. Over 1 billion people watching it live. And of course, we're live here at the Pyramid. It's time now for the Toyota starting lineups. Alvin Williams at the point guard spot. At the 2, Vince Carter is back. Greg Foster picked up as a free agent. He was in the Indiana Pacer camp. He was released, and he is starting at center. Antonio Davis, the veteran, at the power forward. And Morris Peterson is at the small forward, coming off of a career-high 31 points against Boston. Lenny Wilkins has seen it all, and he has won a NBA title. Of course, as a head coach of the Seattle Supersonics in 1979, one of only 2 in the history of the Naismith Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts, to go in as a player and a coach, the other, of course, being the great John Wooden. Starting lineup for the Memphis Grizzlies: Jason Williams, Gordon Giricek, Pau Gasol, third consecutive start in the middle, Drew Gooden alongside Pau, and the defensive stopper, Shane Battier. Hubie Brown, the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. Hubie Brown, 2-6 with the Grizzlies, and Hubie talked to his players about the expectations, and the bar has been risen with the way that they have played over the course of the last week. And the defensive intensity and pressure is certainly there. In Toronto, a team that has struggled scoring, they're averaging just 87.6 points a game, could have difficulty handling that this afternoon, Hawk.
Yeah, and that's the key to the game, the defensive intensity that the Grizzlies have played with during this homestand. If they can keep this up today against Toronto, that's shooting the ball extremely poor from the field, just make them shoot over you. Grizzlies should get out of here today with a win.
Mike Callahan, David Jones, Bill Kennedy are 3 officials, and the Grizzlies win the opening tap here on this Sunday afternoon in Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis in their home white, Memphis embroidered across the front. Of course, Toronto in their road purple. Here's Giricek turning in the lane, pulls up over Carter, doesn't go, tapped out and kept alive by Pau Gasol. Jay Will thought about it, and he decided to pull it back out and restart the offense.
And that's been the biggest difference in Jason since Hubie has been around. He would have pulled the trigger on that shot 2 weeks ago.
Battier misses, and here come the Toronto Raptors. They won in Boston on Friday night. That ended a 6-game losing skid. They won 98-95. Foster through the lane, and his shot misses, and tearing it off of the iron is Drew Gooden. Gooden, his rebounds have been up at the power forward spot compared to the small forward spot. Almost forgot about that at the 3 instead of being at the 4, where you're down low in the mix all the time. Battier trying to take advantage of Peterson on him, backing him down. Here's Gasol. Giracek thought about it. 2 on the shot clock, in the lane, in and out. Powell goes back up strong, blows it. Key opportunity missed, and leaking out Carter, and he gets it to fall.
Grizzlies have to be careful of that. Vince Carter and Mo Pete, they like to get out early. So watch for those 2 guys to leak out the entire game.
One of the reasons why this Raptors team has struggled, just 5-10 in the Central Division. They are already 8 games back. As the Grizzlies have started this game slow, 0-5. It's because of all the injuries. In fact, they have just 9 in uniform here this afternoon, and we'll get to that as this game goes along. Jay Will on the drive.
Good move by Jason Williams. Giracek ran the lane with him. That left Jason one-on-one with Alvin Williams. Used his quickness and got a layup.
He can always get into the lane when he wants. Peterson, baseline. This is Antonio Davis.
Antonio Davis, good medium range jump shot shooter. Plays off Mo Pete well on the little curl. Hits him with a nice little baseline shot.
Averaging 14.5 points a game, and their top rebounder at 8.2. Fading away, good and no. Tapped up by Battier. Loose ball on the floor, gathered by Williams. Blocked from behind. Nobody alerted Jay Will that Davis was swarming him. Here's Antonio Davis trying to back down on Gooden. The veteran fading away. Good defense by Gooden. Had the forearm resting on him. And Davis was left to take that fade away that he had to alter.
Excellent defense, because Davis wants to get to that right jump hand hook.
And Gooden says this is how you do it. The Grizzlies 2 of 9. Raptors 2 of 4. And the Grizzlies all over the offensive boards, something that they need to do. Neither of these teams rebound all that well. Peterson and Davis, right place, right time, doesn't fall, and a whistle and a foul. Foul on Greg Foster. That is his first.
When you have a poor shooting team, the Grizzlies, they have to rebound as a team today. All 5 guys in there.
You see the series history. Slight margin by the Toronto Raptors. Giracek wanted separation, uses a high screen. In the corner, Battier left alone, and he drills at 3. His homestand has been kind to him. At one point this season, he was 1 of 16 from three-point range. That's his 3rd 3 made during this 4-game homestand.
That was an excellent pass by Giracek, getting into the lane, finding Shane open in the corner.
Davis fronts on Gasol. Gasol long and lean. And Davis able to spin base and use the hook.
And that's what Davis wants to go. He wants to get to that right-hand hook. So Powell or Drew, whoever has him, has to force him to his left hand.
Here's Gasol. Gasol uses his quickness on Foster, and it spills out. And Davis is there. Good move by Powell.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want Powell to be aggressive going to the basket. Got a tough roll, but you like to move.
Alvin Williams misses on the jumper. That was his first shot attempt. He is their top scorer, averaging 16.1 points a game. And, of course, just give Vince Carter some time, and he'll get it cranking, averaging 15.4 points a game. Here's Giracek trying to gain separation from Peterson. Momentarily loses the dribble. It's kicked. No call. Peterson, the easy deuce. And a turnover by Giracek that deep. Forget it. It's going to be 2 points.
Yeah, whenever you turn the basketball over at half court, defense can't get back quick enough, leads to an easy layup.
Gooden. Steal. Tough angle. Gets his own miss and a travel. Toronto basketball. Drew Gooden, 1 of 4 to start this game. Of course, the last 2 games, Hawk, he's come out ripping the courts against Seattle. Started 4 of 4, and then you look back to Friday night against the Lakers, had 19 points, and he was knocked knocking them down with ease.
Yeah, his problem tonight is he's gotten 2 shots in the lane. He needs to get to the perimeter.
Carter, I can't believe you just said that's what the inside.
That's where he's been hitting the shots from. Get back outside.
Carter fading away. He likes to do that. In fact, there are some that have been extremely critical of Vince Carter going to the fadeaway too much, even well beyond the three-point arc.
I think what happens with Vince Carter is he's so good. He's so good at getting his shot off that a lot of times you figure, why drive when I can just raise up and shoot over anyone?
Peterson, weak side, Carter corrals it. Toronto by 3. Vince fading once again. The other thing that happens on the outlet, pow! Great job by the Grizzlies. The other thing that happens when Vince Carter chooses to fade like he did in traffic there, he's not going to get any calls.
No, he's definitely not. And that's something that he definitely has to change as he matures in the league. He can get to the free throw line. He should be able to have 10 free throw attempts a game.
He travels and then stumbles to the floor. He's only 25 years of age. In fact, he's just 1 year older than Shane Battier. The Memphis Grizzlies have cut it to 1 on a Pau Gasol dunk. Vince Carter ripping him off. A great job by Jason Williams of finding Pau Gasol.
Yeah, both teams off to a slow start. And if you want to get yourself going, get a layup. Pau runs the floor. Jason finds him. Quick 2 for Pau.
Grizzlies have had opportunities on the offensive end, Hersey. They have 4 offensive rebounds, yet they do not have a second chance point. Toronto's had 3 offensive rebounds. They have 2 points.
Well, someone will eventually start hitting some shots then. But I like how the Grizzlies, they're active. They're aggressive early in the game. Both Pau and Drew, 3 offensive rebounds between the both of them. So they'll start making those shots. Grizzlies front line more athletic and quicker than the Raptors.
Grizzlies 4 of 12 from the floor. The Raptors 5 of 13. Grizzlies wanted to get off to an extremely fast start. It didn't work out that way. Giricek up in the air, gives it up to Gasol. Gasol on the floor, and it pops out. But he is fouled by Foster. That is Foster's second, and a great job of Pau Gasol of using his quickness.
But Foster just does not have the foot speed to stay with Pau. One dribble, and he's by him and into the lane, so the help has to come. If I was Pau, I would take advantage of that every time I get it. Look to get to the rim.
Gasol with 1 free throw attempt left as he misses the first. I spoke to Tony Barone, assistant coach of the Memphis Grizzlies, prior to the start of the game, and he said while the Grizzlies have a disadvantage on the the defensive end with Pau Gasol, he said we have an advantage at the other end with Pau Gasol because of his quickness, and you saw it right there.
Yeah, and every team that comes in there, you talk to the coaching staff, they're concerned about the Grizzlies' quickness on the front line with Drew and Pau and their ability to score points and get up and down the floor.
Backing down is Jelani McCoy, just checking in. Shot doesn't go, and Gooden with the rebound. That's his third. Battier quickly into the front court. Gooden thought about it, puts it on the floor, drives hard. Ball swatted off of the glass, out of bounds. Memphis basketball.
Good help by Antonio Davis, but another quick move by Drew Gooden on the perimeter using his quickness. Antonio Davis got there at the last minute for the block shot. Grizzly front line, they're making good moves early.
Wesley Person checking in for Gordon Giricek. He has scored double figures in 3 straight games, and 4 of the last 5. He's been extremely productive coming off of the bench. Curling over Peterson. That shot pops up high and then trickles off the front of the iron.
And that's what you want Wesley Person to do. As soon as he come in the game, they run a play for him to get him involved in the offense.
It's been that way for the last week. Davis backing down in traffic, stumbles through, and an offensive foul is going to be called. Lenny Wilkins is frustrated.
I think that's a great call. You see Davis, he has the left arm, and then he throws the elbow around Powell. The same thing we saw Shaquille O'Neal do the other night. And the official on the weak side of the floor has the best angle for that call.
A whistle and a foul. So the foul on Jelani McCoy, and here comes the entire second unit checking in. Watson right, Swift, Person, Battier will remain on the floor right now. Bill Kennedy making that call on the far side. Here's Watson. Tied at 10. 4:15 to go.
Playing a second unit could be a huge advantage against a team like Toronto.
Battier, the putback.
That's injured, doesn't have the bench strength that the Grizzlies have. They should be able to wear him down today.
UB Brown wanted to insert the second unit a little bit earlier today to try to do exactly that. Their starters are playing hefty minutes because of all the injuries. Battier flat out feeling it early on, crashing the boards, and then steps outside, knocks down the trailing three. He has 8 points, and it's an 8-0 run by the Grizzlies, and a 5-point advantage, thus their largest.
Shane Battier trailing the last player on the fast break. Good pass by Earl to him for the three.
Swift, the hand in the face, but Alvin Williams knocks it down along the end line.
And that's what Vince Carter can do more of. Set his teammates up rather than fade away and look for the shots. If he would look to set his teammates up, it would make Toronto a much better team.
Person, top of the circle, passer, Swift, left open, too strong. And on the strong side, Morris Peterson reels it in. Carter, quick trigger, off glass, no, and Lorenzen Wright gobbles it up.
You almost look at Carter, and it seems like he's bored. That he can get any shot he wants, and he just settles for the jump shot.
2 of 5 from the floor, no call. And UB Brown talking to Mike Callahan. When a sharpshooter like Wesley Person takes a shot like that, and the trajectory of the shot falls the way it does, you know that something occurred while he was trying to launch that shot. No question about it, Hersey.
Yeah, and the way it came out, you can tell it wasn't a block shot. Had to be a foul.
Grizzlies lead. Battier, a big three. Commits a foul. That is his first. The Grizzlies shooting almost 32% from the floor. The Raptors still tied up in the 30s as well, 35%. Memphis and Toronto each with 10 rebounds. Here's Vince Carter, fade away again. Batiste on him now. He's 3 of 6 from the floor, and as you said, he realizes he can get that anytime he wants.
Yeah, you don't mind Vince Carter making shots like that. If he's not getting other people involved or getting to the free throw line, you'll take him shooting jumpers.
Lorenzen Wright trying to feed Strobile Swift. Peterson, and the ball jarred away from the rim, and it's Memphis basketball as Jermaine Jackson out of the University of Detroit checks in. Jackson, 26 years of age, playing in his 6th game with the Toronto Raptors. Lindsey Hunter, acquired on a draft day deal, not with the team here in Memphis. In fact, he stayed behind for treatment in Toronto. Person turns it over again. In the last game, second unit had 7 turnovers against the Lakers, and they've turned it over a couple of times here in the last 2 possessions.
They've had open looks at the basket. It's unselfish, make an extra pass sometimes instead of just shooting the basketball.
Davis misses. Lorenzen grabs it. Here's Earl Watson. Good job by Carter finding the wide open Davis. In the lane, Earl Watson gets deep penetration. Shot doesn't go. And the Grizzlies now 6 of 20 from the floor. Peterson on the dribble penetration. And Peterson with 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting.
Peterson was able to get that layup. Antonio Davis set a nice screen for him going to the basket. Shielded the defensive player off.
Batiste from the outside. Short. And Jackson with a rebound. And Toronto by 1. Davis. Here's Carter over Batiste. Not this time. Watson quickly into the front court. Person for 3. ripping the cords. Wesley Person has made 11 of his last 22, 50%.
This game has turned into a jump shot shooting contest. Whoever makes the jumpers, they win. Everyone's settling for the outside shot.
Happened that way on Wednesday against Seattle. Carter responds. 3. Got it.
That's when Vince Carter has improved his shooting, his three-point range, able to hit that shot consistently now.
37%, now 7 of 17 on the season. Carter has 9 points on 4 of 8 shooting. See the shot clock, game clock differential. 7 on the shot clock. Watson on the upfit. Peterson closed in a hurry. To the cutting Lorenzen right. Nice find. No finish. Carter tracks it down in the corner. Plenty of time to get the last shot of the first quarter. Into the front court. Carter. Jackson. McCoy. Good defense by the Memphis Grizzlies as Carter was able to find Jackson, and then Jackson to McCoy, but the Grizzlies were all over it, stifling that play to end the first quarter. The Raptors lead by 1 as we head to the second quarter on this Sunday afternoon in the Mid-South.
Want to see how people live, work, and play in downtown Memphis? Join me, Lee Warren, for an up-close and personal view of downtown.
We'll visit incredible homes, workplaces beyond your imagination, and events and activities that will make you want to come downtown to play too. Join the fun and watch Definitely Downtown the first Sunday of every month on WMC TV5 at 9:30 a.m. and on TV Time Warner Cable.
It's all definitely downtown, the heart and soul of Memphis.
At Nissan, we were the first to bring you the 4-door compact truck. Yeah, but what have you done for us lately? Just added an over 6-foot-long bed. Get 0.9% financing and $1,250 cash back on every new 2002 Frontier. The doors are wide open.
And Garfield says, "Where's my food?" Right! And Bobby said,
"Dad, you're late."
"Yeah!"
Get your head out the paper and read your grandson the comics.
Let him do it himself.
He can't read yet.
Drew says, "Never date a lady wrestler."
I told him he could do it.
Now I suppose you're ready to do the crossword puzzle, huh?
I can read.
At Backyard Burgers, we're always trying to build a better sandwich. Introducing our all-new Buffalo Ranch Chicken Sandwich. We start with our famous Southern-style chicken tenderloins, add our own special spicy backyard buffalo sauce, then we add crisp lettuce and top it off with cool, creamy ranch dressing. But get it while it's hot, because this sandwich is only available for a limited time. So visit Backyard Burgers and let us build a Buffalo Ranch Chicken Sandwich for you today. And if it's not the best you've ever tasted, we'll gladly give you your money back.
Let's go.
Grizzlies trail by 1, start of the second quarter. Let's head outside the pyramid to Eric Hasseltine. What's up, E?
Well, guys, out here in front of the pyramid on Friday, 12 people started with their hands on this expedition. It's called Get Your Paws on an Expedition. Day number 3, there are just 4 people left, and it's hard to figure out why there's still 4 people here. You get 10 minutes every 2 hours, 15 minutes every 4 hours. That's your restroom, that's your food, that's your sleep break right there. You have to pack your own food. People have got them bundled up right here. All the warmth, all that you can fit on your own body is what you could bring. Now, 4 people still stand in this true test of endurance. Guys, be happy you're sitting where you are. I'm coming back inside because it's absolutely frigid out here right now. These people have more guts than I ever will.
Thanks, Eric. That's a nice ride, though, Ford Expedition.
It is a nice ride, but I couldn't do it.
Come on. 48 hours plus into this thing. They're out there. Family and friends are coming out to feed them, and you see them all bundled up. Imagine last night how cold it got. Keeping your fingertips on that car. You got to give them a lot of credit. Mo Peterson getting some assistance from Chuck Mooney, the trainer. You may recall that he attempted a dunk and that ball ricocheted into the stands. Nice move by Stroh. Grizzlies lead by 1. And so just got a little bit of a cut on top of the left hand. Remember, he is a left-handed shooter, so that could affect him. Jackson to Williams. Williams looking down low. This is Jelani McCoy. McCoy backing down on Lorenzen. The hook doesn't go, and Strohmeyer climbs up and grabs a rebound. A little bit more energy at the start of the second quarter for the second unit, and Lorenzen blows an easy deuce.
A nice hustle by Lorenzen. Played good defense and then ran the floor, sprinted down to get the opportunity for the easy layup.
Stroh strips it away, and you see Strohmeyer putting his hand to his mouth. Batiste in a hurry to the rim. And he said he's fine as he looks back at Hubie Brown, and a timeout taken by Lenny Wilkins and the Toronto Raptors. The Grizzlies have come out and started this second quarter on a 4-0 run. A minute and a half into this second quarter. It's a 20-second timeout. Strohmeyer Swift extremely active, causing a lot of disruption as he spun right around Michael Bradley.
And what I like about what I've been seeing out of Stroh the last week or two is offensively his footwork has gotten a lot better. His moves are a lot crisper. Defense comes up with the swipe, and when you play good defense, it leads to layups. That was the play where Batiste got an easy layup, so defense leads to good scoring opportunities.
Michael Bradley on the floor for the Toronto Raptors in his second year at Villanova. Originally started his career at the University of Kentucky. Had a verbal commitment to Boston College and then decided to go to Kentucky, transferred to Villanova, and was an excellent player in the Big East in his second season with the Toronto Raptors, and he's getting more minutes. Although he played just 6 minutes against Boston, McCoy getting minutes. He played 14 against Boston because they have some big interior problems. Jerome Junkyard Dog Williams is not with the team. He's back in Toronto as well with Lindsey Hunter receiving treatments. Strohmeyer. And a foul on Jelani McCoy.
Strohmeyer with the aggressive move down the middle.
Let's head over to Eric Hasseltine, who has an update on Morris Peterson.
Guys, you mentioned the fact that this Raptor bench is depleted. The last thing they could afford is another injury. Well, Morris Peterson going up for that monster slam dunk did hurt his hand, but he is expected to return. Just a small cut on the top of the hand. They do expect him back in the lineup very shortly, and Lenny Wilkins cannot afford to not have him in that lineup. If not, they may come over and take Hersey off the bench and try to suit him up for the Raptors today.
Hey, it would not be the first time that a team has actually come over here and asked it that. Alvin Williams and Morris Peterson are the only two members of the Toronto Raptors that have started all 15 games for the Raptors. Remember, Hakeem Olajuwon last year signed to a 3-year deal. He retired this year. Keon Clark left for greener pastures in Sacramento. Going through a little bit of a transition, but they still have some pieces here, once healthy, that can do some damage in the Eastern Conference. They're shooting just 33%, and they've yet to score here in the second quarter, Hawk.
Yeah, Lenny Wilkins better hurry up and get Vince Carter back in the game. You know he's coming off an injury, so you're trying to limit his minutes, but you need him on the floor.
The Grizzlies sprinting out to an 8-0 run here at the start of the second quarter. Lorenzen right down low on the blocks. 1 of 4 now from the floor. This is Jackson, played at Detroit. As in Detroit Mercy, the Titans, not the Detroit Pistons. Cutting down low. In traffic, Bradley blows it. Swift was draped all over him, and Watson came down to help.
Grizzlies playing good defense. Have Toronto out of sync. Even though they came up with a decent scoring opportunity, Bradley just doesn't have the lift in the paint to score.
Alvin Williams, the only starter still on the floor. Mike Batiste around Chris Jeffries, the rookie out of Fresno State. And Batiste wearing it down. Batiste to a 3 from the field, and here comes Vince Carter, and Mo Pete will check back in at the next opportunity. If you're Lenny Wilkins, you can't go that long with this unit. And Chris Jeffries drills the 3 to end that run to begin the second quarter.
Well, he has to be very careful of when he rests. Both Mo Pete and Vince Carter use timeouts wisely, but try to keep them on the floor as much as possible.
Jackson commits a foul, and Jackson questioning the call. Timeout on the floor, and Jackson frustrated with the call. And the Memphis Grizzlies lead by 6. Batiste curls, spins, fades. By 6, Hubie Brown in his first year back since 1986 as a head coach, and a couple of masters of the game greeting one another before the start. Lenny Wilkins, of course, number 1 all-time in victories, 1,273. Pat Riley, Don Nelson, Bill Fitch, and Red Auerbach round out the top 5. And Wilkins and Brown, a lot of basketball knowledge there, huh?
It sure is. And both coaches coach in different styles.
Yes.
Lenny Wilkins more loose with his team, allowed them to go out and experiment with Hubie Brown. He wants his team to specific, plays very strict on him.
Lenny Wilkins a lot more laid back. Vince Carter. And Lorenzen with a rebound, thought about the long pass and gave it up and handed it over to Watson. So many different styles. A lot of it depends upon the team that you have as to how successful you will be. Watson, hot step, too strong, and Davis tears it down, and Lorenzen Wright and Earl Watson tried to bundle them up.
Exactly right. When you have a veteran team, you can be more loose. You don't have to be as strict. But when you have a young team teaching them, you have to sort of tighten the noose a little.
And a whistle and a foul. And a foul called on Earl Watson as Bill Kennedy calls a foul. Drew Gooden, Jason Williams, and Shane Battier re-enter for the Memphis Grizzlies as Antonio Davis got knocked in the face.
A big rebound by Antonio Davis. There's Earl Watson trying to steal it away. Gets him across the face.
As you know, Percy, when you look typically at coaching changes throughout the history of the league. Take it away. Here's Jason Williams. Grizzlies have a 5-on-4. Williams off the side of the iron, hustling for the board. Last touch by Drew Gooden. It's Toronto basketball. Typically, it goes from a players coach change to a more structured coach, disciplined coach, and then the next change will be back to a players coach. It's always that way, right?
Yeah, it is. You go from one extreme to the other. If something's not working, most management figure, okay, let's change it. We'll see if the other way works.
And for the Memphis Grizzlies, this certainly has worked out. There's absolutely no question about that. For the Toronto Raptors, remember, Butch Carter was their head coach and brought them through the ranks and won 45 games. Then he was let go, and in the first season under Lenny Wilkins, this team won 47 games. Now remember, this is a different team as Carter knocks down the floater along the baseline. That was a veteran-laden team with the likes of Charles Oakley and Dale Davis, not Dale Davis, Antonio Davis was there, and so they certainly had a lot more veterans surrounding Vince Carter than they do right now.
Yeah, this team is in a rebuilding stage now. 2 or 3 years ago, they were considered the future of the East. They were the best team out there. Everyone was thinking, they would be the team everyone had to beat. But now with all the injuries and with losing players to free agency, they have to decide which direction are they going to go now.
7-0 run by the Toronto Raptors, and a defensive 3-second call on Antonio Davis. And Jason Williams will head to the stripe. Jay Will, 92% on the season, 12 of 13 from the free throw line, was 2 of 2 against the Lakers. It's some big-time shots down the stretch to Jason Williams. He was 5 of 15, had 16 points, 8 assists, and 1 turnover. That's it. 8 dimes and 1 turnover. 39 minutes of action. Grizzlies started the second quarter 4 of 5 from the field, while the Raptors started just 1 of 5. And right now it's a 3-point game. Garrett check. His first 2 of the afternoon.
Good shot by Garrett check. One of his favorite plays, coming off that baseline screen to the elbow. Wide open, he can make that shot.
Garrett check and Peterson get tangled up underneath, and quickly Bill Kennedy comes over. Foul on Giracek. That's his first. Peterson inbounds it. Grizzlies by 5. Here's Carter. Short. Giricek, an opportunity to run. Gooden. And Williams tells Drew to give it to him, and they'll set it up on the offensive end. Giricek curling. Gooden calling for it. Giricek driving. Underneath turnover. Alvin Williams blows the layup.
Nice hustle by Shane, getting back on defense, causing Alvin Williams to miss that shot.
Giricek thought about the end line, and he was cut off by Carter. Under 10 on the shot clock. Now down to 7 on the shot clock. And a foul on Vince Carter. Vince and Gordon having a few words with one another. Time out on the floor. Both teams not shooting all that well. 36% for the Grizzlies, Toronto 34%, but the Grizzlies lead by giveaway. Today it was a lunchbox. The next giveaway is 3 weeks from now, Sunday, December 22nd against the Utah Jazz, when the first 3,000 kids under the age of 14 will receive the Grizzlies Star Stackers. To order your tickets, call 888-HOOP or toll free at 1-866-648-HOOP. That's 888-HOOP or toll free at 1-866-648-HOOP. And the Pow and Shane lunchbox. It's a great thing, a great item. Also, Grizz made it. I wish I was 14. I'd be carrying this around. Oh, Gooden misses. 14. And Foster. You're 14 or under. Didn't you bring a sack lunch to school with you?
No, not at 14.
You're too cool for that. Carter with the hook. Carter down low on the blocks. Already with 13. 6 of 13 shooting from the floor.
You don't see that often, Vince Carter on the box, but with his leaping ability, you would think that would be part of their offense.
Pau Gasol in the lane. And a foul on Pau Gasol as he was cutting to the rack. 3-point advantage for the Memphis Grizzlies. Remember, Toronto, a team that only has 2 wins on the road. They're 2-5. Wins at Boston, at Orlando. So those are impressive, certainly. But this is a team that has struggled shooting. Ranked 26th in the NBA in shooting percentage, 40% off. Powell falls to the floor. Davis. Carter, no. And Battier is there. Powell disgusted with a no call.
Yeah, Powell, he didn't just fall to the floor. He was knocked to the floor by Antonio Davis.
Williams finds Gooden. And it spills in and out. Battier, offensive rebound, putback. That's what the coaching staff talked about. Offensive rebound, such a key. And Battier in double digits with 10.
And Shane snuck in there. Grizzlies want to send 3 to the offensive rebound. Shane was able to sneak in there. Only 1 player.
Talking about sneaking in there. How about on the defensive end, Battier? Why, he's back in the starting lineup because he can do things like that right there. And then at the other end, he goes down and creates a turnover when he's guarding Vince Carter.
Defensive, nice to have your defensive stopper, also a good offensive player, can knock down the open shots, and Shane's having a good game so far.
Powell, air ball. Battier 4 of 5 from the floor. 10 points, 5 rebounds. Williams over Williams.
Alvin Williams, he has the size to shoot over Jason Williams.
Last 2 games, he's averaging just under 19 points. Last year, he averaged 11 points and almost 6 assists. And the foul on Michael Bradley as he was trying to guard Drew Gooden. So Bradley picks up the foul. That's the team's 4th. His first. Grizzlies by 3. Afternoon games on a Sunday, are they tough to play? Energy just doesn't seem to be there for either team right now.
They have always been tough to play, unless you play them every Sunday, like the Chicago Bulls or Los Angeles Lakers, but normally it's just tough to get involved into the game.
It seems when you look at Sunday afternoon games, a lot of times teams just struggle shooting early on. Now, you could always just, point to the fact that, as you know, athletes are creatures of habit, and the routine is just a little bit different. As you see, Gordon Giricek leads the NBA in free throw shooting, just a shade above Jason Kidd of New Jersey.
People in NBA, players in the NBA are creatures of habit. And normally, we have a 3 o'clock tip-off here. That's nap time for most players.
That's true.
They're sitting in their hotel at home taking a nap.
You know all about those. Alvin Williams. Here's Davis.
I love the nap. I had to watch all my children and take a nap. That was my routine.
Memphis Grizzlies by 5. Shooting 35% from the floor. The Raptors shooting 35%. Pau Gasol with the block. And the Grizzlies lead. Battier, the leading scorer for the Memphis Grizzlies, and also the leading rebounder with 6 here on this afternoon.
Shane Battier is the one player that's used to afternoon games, has gotten himself up and ready to play. You knew Shane was feeling good when he took his second three-pointer of the game. You normally don't see him just pull up in transition, break out of the offense and take the three. But when he did that, you knew he was hot.
Over the last 2 games as a starter, back in the lineup as a starter, averaging close to 10 points and 6.5 rebounds. Drew Gooden, nice touch along the baseline. And also his shooting has skyrocketed, shooting 58% over the last 2 games now that he's back in. Not that he's taken a lot of shots, 7 of 12 entering today's game, but yet it's a high percentage.
And this is after all the talk about Shane being more comfortable at the 3 position, more comfortable at the 2 position, but playing at 3. And I think it's the fact that he just likes Huber's style of ball. That's the type of ball he's used to playing.
Jason Williams on the dribble penetration. Jay Will with 5 points. And the Grizzlies lead by 9. This is their largest lead.
Alvin Williams wasn't respecting Jason Williams' quickness and his ability to go to the rim. Gave it to him.
Williams counted, and a foul on Jason Williams, and so Alvin Williams will head to the free throw line.
We see Alvin Williams just backpedaling, not concerned about Jason. He turns it on and gets to the rim and gets the layup. And Alvin Williams came back on the offensive end, took it right back at him.
This is Toronto's first free throw attempt. And last touch by Memphis. And I think Shane Battier was surprised by that call, so it's Toronto basketball.
But that's an area of the Grizzlies game that they have to clean up. The rebounding on the free throw line. They're getting burned every game.
Alvin Williams misses. Bradley right there. Michael Bradley is first 2, along with 3 rebounds. 5-point game. 4-point swing right there.
So nothing good ever happens when you give up an offensive rebound on the free throw line.
Giricek finds Gooden. Adds Bradley on him. Short. Rebound comes right in the lane to Alvin Williams. Spins underneath. Fading. Doesn't go. Carter with the tap. He has 15. And so a 6-0 spurt by the Toronto Raptors.
What a tap by Vince Carter. Pure athleticism, jumping over the back, getting his fingertip on it, and it gently rolled in.
22nd timeout taken by Hubie Brown and the Memphis Grizzlies. And you see the intensity by Hubie Brown, not appreciating the way that his team has played here over the last minute. On Tuesday night at 9:30, Central, the Grizzlies open a 3-game Western road trip as they pay a visit to Shaq and Kobe, a rematch of Friday night's overtime thriller at the Pyramid. The Grizzlies and the Lakers, Tuesday at 9:30 on PAX in Memphis and across the Grizzlies television network. I saw Pal yesterday, asked him about how he felt after playing Shaq, and he said his back was really sore because he was leaning on him a lot. But he did a sensational job guarding Shaquille. I mean, Shaq got his numbers, but he did a good job on him.
He did a great job. Shaq didn't shoot a great percentage from the field. Took him 30 shots, no, 27, 28 shots to get his points. And you'll settle for that out of Shaq.
Gooden just 2 of 9. Now 3 of 10. He has 6 points. Gooden, over the last 2 games, entering this afternoon's game, shooting 60%. 18 of 30. Some pressure. J-Will on A-Will.
And Bradley, he can't guard Drew Gooden on the box. He should take his time, and he can get whatever shot he wanted.
Nice job by Davis. And there's Gooden on the defensive end with the block. Powell gets it back ahead to Jason Williams. He'll stop and pop for 3. Jason Williams drills it. 8 points for J-Will.
And the intensity after the timeout. They come out, run a play. Drew Gooden gets a layup. They get a stop and another quick 3.
And Jason Williams picks up the foul. That's his second.
Drew Gooden coming from the weak side. Leads to 3 points for Jason Williams. And whenever the Grizzlies come up with good defensive plays, steals, long rebounds, it leads to good scoring opportunities for them.
Alvin Williams at the free throw line, 1 of 2. Williams, 82% from the free throw line, one of the better free throw shooters for the Toronto Raptors. And this is his second, now just 1 of 3. It'll be interesting to see throughout the course of this season as it continues if Jason Williams continues to play the sort of defense that he has played, if there's an adjustment with the officials as well as players. Pau Gasol, tough underneath, nice move. Gasol has 5 points. Pressure on the inbounds.
I think on the Hubie Brown, Jason has no choice but to play the type of defense he's been playing.
And Jason is enjoying it. And as we talked about on Friday night, you may think they're the odd couple, but yet both of them have obviously extremely high basketball IQs. And Jason Williams understands what it takes to play this game. But as you know, a lot of people feel, oh, he hasn't played D in the past. So calls go a certain way because of that. As the first half comes to an end, the Grizzlies really heated it up here at the tail end of the second quarter, shooting now 42% overall. Toronto still wrapped up in the 30s, shooting 35%. Pau Gasol, 5 points, 7 rebounds. Nice move to the hole, fading along the end line. Shane Battier leading the way in the first half. He has 10 points and 6 rebounds, and the Grizzlies have been dynamic as they lead 46-37. It's halftime.
A fight broke out as both benches cleared and punches were thrown by the players. In fact, referees had to end the game with 2 seconds left on the clock. There were no injuries and no arrest. The next step, the University of Memphis and Conference USA will review the tapes and decide whether or not there will be any suspension.
Lexus. Beautiful Sunday afternoon, the Memphis Grizzlies and the Toronto Raptors. 46-37, Grizzlies lead the Toronto Raptors. And moments ago, Eric Hasseltine caught up with Hubie Brown.
Coach, great defense in the first half by the team. Season low point total for an opponent.
Yeah, well, we're happy with the defense. We didn't like the little rash of second shot attempts that they got there in the middle of the quarter. That's why we called a timeout. But we responded. We scored next 6 out of 7 possessions. We know the break is there if we can defense the board.
Looks like you're also trying to hammer the ball into the post. You got a matchup advantage with Drew Gooden.
Well, we're hoping that we can get them in foul trouble and get to the glass. Now, we know they're short people, okay, up front. So you always got to honor that. But you have to take advantage where you think you have an advantage.
Great first half. Good luck in the second half.
Well, thank you very much.
It was a solid first half for the Memphis Grizzlies. I misspoke at halftime. The 37 points that Toronto was held to, that is not a low for the season. It is a low for the Grizzlies, holding opponents to that figure of 37 points. The franchise low for the Toronto Raptors happened on November 17th against the Utah Jazz when they scored just 28 points. And of course, Vince Carter has 15, Alvin Williams 7, and Morris Peterson with 4 points. And Battier knows all about Mo Pete. Of course, they're both from Michigan, although Mo Pete from Flint, Battier from suburb outside of Detroit. Williams with 8. He had a big 3 back in the first half, and Gooden was 6 after struggling early on. Gooden, 3 of 10 from the floor. Gasol, 5.7 rebounds. Once again, his rebounding has really picked up as you see the numbers for Shane.
Yeah, Shane, good first half, but all the starters played well. Drew Gooden only 3 of 10 from the field, but you saw the first half when he took his time and got to the post, they had no one who can stop him. As Hubie said at halftime, look to see the Grizzlies going to the post a little more the second half with Drew, with Powell, and possibly even seeing Shane in there on the post, all depending on who's guarding him.
The Grizzlies need another spark to start a quarter like they got starting the second quarter. They began 4 of 5 from the floor. The Raptors 1 of 5. They need to do the same here at the beginning of the third quarter.
If they can come out and jump on Toronto, Toronto's a very fragile team now. Haven't played well on the road, afternoon game. They're likely to quit and just mail it in. So if the Grizzlies can get off to a good start, we'll see what Toronto's made of.
Davis backing down on Pau Gasol, picks it up. Carter up fake on Battier, floating, and it pops in. So Carter is 17 on 8 of 17 shooting, coming off of 23 against Boston. Missed 10 games because of an injury. Here's Gasol backing down. Hook doesn't go. And Carter leak out. Mo Pete. Peterson attacking. And if you're going to foul Gordon Giricek, you better wrap him up.
And when you go meet him further up the lane. Don't let Mo Pete create all the contact and dictate how the fast break is going to be run. Giricek was back with him, but waited too far underneath the basket. And you got to commit a harder foul than that.
I don't even think he was trying to foul him. I think he just wanted to flash and get out of the way.
He's learned a lesson. Either get out of the way or give him the layup.
You got that right. 7 fouls for Peterson. Gooden trying to use his quickness on the veteran Davis. Fading, doesn't go. And Foster with a rebound. And it's been Toronto that has come out with a quick start. 4-point game. And Hubie Brown urging his defense to get a little bit tougher. Foster up top. Here's Davis. 10 on the shot clock. Turnover. Vince Carter slow to get up, holding his back. Limping forward. Pau Gasol underneath. Has 7 points.
Jason Williams cleared the way for Pau Gasol. Penetrated. Little throw behind his back. Got Pau an easy layup.
Carter injured himself on November 2nd at Houston. Left quadriceps tendon. And a foul is going to be called on Drew Gooden. And Gooden earns his second.
Weak side defense fell asleep. Davis flashed from the weak side, got good post position, committed the foul.
Antonio Davis at the free throw line. You talked about a team that is fragile. Antonio Davis's wife made a comment this past week in Toronto about possibly Antonio Davis asking for a trade within the week, and it just got blown out of proportion. And Antonio Davis did not speak to the media. Then he came back and said it was taken out of context. His wife went on a talk show and said it was taken out of context. I was kind of joking about it if things didn't get better. And of course, all that on the heels of Vince Carter dancing with Nelly up in Toronto while his team was getting blasted on a road trip. If you can dance with Nelly, you can play. That's what his teammates felt. And then after his first game back coming off of that injury, after the game, his comment was, "I have nothing to say about how I played, period." Mo Pete drills the three from the corner, 2-point game.
What's surprising to me is to see Antonio Davis' wife so vocal about his playing minutes and what's going on with him.
Gasol, well, frustration abound in Toronto. 5 at the shot clock. Here's Jason Williams, wide open. Can he get it? He can. Jason Williams, 11 points and 5 assists. Jason Williams, one big three after another over the last 2 games, shooting 45% from beyond the arc.
That was a great find by Kyle Gasol. Jason Williams moving behind the defense, finding the open spot.
Foster pops out. Gasol goes up on a foul. Loose ball foul on Alvin Williams. Good job of Pau Gasol of attacking the iron on the defensive end.
First team foul.
Pau Gasol taking his time on the offensive end. You see Williams come in for the help. Jason Williams move right behind Williams to his blind spot. Good pass by Pau. 3 points.
Williams behind the back, looks on the inside. Gooden's going to face up, doesn't go, and flying in and tearing that rebound away from Pau is Morris Peterson. Crossover. Williams. Alvin Williams certainly has the size advantage over Jason Williams. And he showed a nice crossover there as he got into 9'6'5", 28-year-old.
Alvin Williams, he's a little quicker than people give him credit for. He handled the basketball extremely well and big enough to finish when he goes to the lane.
Battier, he has a dozen. Hubie Brown was telling Pau Gasol, take him, take him, take him. And he was short with the shot, but once again, there's Battier on the scene. Second chance opportunity, Toronto. Williams for 3, drills it. This is a team that shoots 31% from three-point range. Not all that well. Alvin Williams, 36%.
They're not a good shooting team, and if you keep them on the perimeter, it'll turn around. They'll start missing some of those shots. You don't want them to get into the lane and get to the free throw line.
Bill Kennedy and a defensive 3-second foul called on Greg Foster as I looked over at Bill Kennedy. Said defensive 3-second, and Wesley Person. That's his second of the game. Williams hit a free throw earlier, and Person that time. The Grizzlies 7 of 8 from the free throw line. The Raptors 3 of 6. Grizzlies lead by 3. Here's Pau Gasol. Foster got on him in a hurry, but he gets by him.
The Toronto Raptors, they're playing Pau to drive right, and his last 2 scores driving to the basket have been going left.
Of course, early on, if you watch tape of him early in the season, he wouldn't go left because of the left wrist. Gasol hedges. Gooden helps out. And a whistle and a foul. And a foul is going to be charged to Drew Gooden, and he cannot believe it. Gooden earns his third, and Antonio Davis to the free throw line.
Good move by Pau. Get Greg Foster off balance, leaning forward, goes right by him. Help couldn't get there soon enough.
What helped Pau sell that is the way he was looking toward the wing right before he went baseline.
And also that he can make that outside shot. When you can make that shot, the defense have to close on you. Play you a little tighter on the perimeter.
Antonio Davis, 6 points and 10 rebounds. 4-point game. Toronto not going anywhere. Toronto starting to crank it up here in the third quarter. They're shooting 40%. Here's Person. High pick and roll. Wasn't there. Battier stretched out. And a loose ball on Greg Foster as he was going up for the rebound. Foster commits the foul. That's his third.
And Pau ends up on his backside again. fighting for the offensive rebound. Greg Foster holding Powell, keeping him off the glass, committed to foul. So good job by Powell, forcing the issue.
Williams, here's Gooden. Around Davis, sweet move by the rookie.
Excellent move by Drew Gooden. Getting Davis, who's a good defensive player, to bite on the pump fake off his feet and up and under.
Toronto 5 of 7 here in the third quarter. Davis fading along the end line. Now 6 of 8.
That's a Vince Carter move. He had good post position by the time he shot the ball. He was out of the lane with the fadeaway. Difficult shot.
2 points away from a double-double. Wesley Person. Powell rolling and Person driving. Wesley Person with 6 points.
Where was the defense? Wesley Person drove from the top of the key on the pick and roll. Defense didn't come. Easy layup.
Grizzlies have 32 points in the paint. Toronto 30. Here's Foster. Hook over Gooden. Got it.
Good post position by Greg Foster. Did a good job of running the big man screen. Powell helped out a little. Foster got open.
Doesn't fall for Gooden, but he'll head to the free throw line. And a foul on Foster, and that is his 4th, with 5:25 remaining here in the third quarter. The Memphis Grizzlies hold a 4-point advantage over the visiting Toronto Raptors here at the Pyramid. Wesley Person on dribble penetration, shielding Foster and laying it up for 2.
Hubie Brown barked out instructions to Pau Gasol, wanting him to take advantage of the mismatch. Came a little short on the shot, but you see Shane Battier crashing the offensive glass, and they go right back to Pau. Goes by and gets the dunk.
Well, Jelani McCoy checking in for the Toronto Raptors. They are thin in the middle, and that's one of the reasons why Hubie Brown wants Pau Gasol to be so aggressive on the inside. That, and also he has so much more quickness than Greg Foster or Jelani McCoy. McCoy checks in with 2 personal fouls. Foster has 4 personal fouls. Gooden at the free throw line, and the first rims out. Gooden, 70% free throw shooter at the University of Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas. He was a career 69% free throw shooter. That average brought up by the fact that he shot 75% his senior season. Big 12 Player of the Year, Drew Gooden, now with 9 points and 4 rebounds.
Big 12 Player of the Year and possibly NBA Rookie of the Year.
Deflected by Battier. Oh, there's no question that after the first month of the season, his name is right there at the top of the list. Gooden, hustling. Williams tracks it down in front of Hubie Brown. Quickly into the front court, out of the wing. All Person momentarily slipped through his fingertips, and he knew it. And then he was looking for Powell. Wesley Person has excelled under Hubie Brown because he knows exactly when he's going to play, how long he's going to play, where he needs to be on the floor. And we talked about creatures of habits earlier on as far as players are concerned. That is certainly the case for the game as well.
And whenever Wesley Person checks into the game, you can count on it. The first play is always drawn up for him to get him involved.
Drew Gooden commits a foul. That is his 4th. Rookies of the Year, we're just talking about it, and back-to-back winners. It has been some time since the last time it was turned. Of course, Pau Gasol won it last year. Bob McAdoo and Ernie DiGregorio. Remember, Ernie D played at Providence College back in 1974. He won the Rookie of the Year for the Buffalo Braves. And, of course, started out with the Chicago Zephyrs and then on to the Baltimore Bullets. Earl Monroe and Wes Unseld.
have no idea who that was.
Don't say that. Don't say that on a Sunday afternoon in Memphis.
And I actually call myself a player that actually knew the history of the NBA, but you got me there.
Ernie DiGregorio out of Providence College led the Friars back in 1974 into the NCAA tournament. Here's Vince Carter. Williams. Shot doesn't go. McCoy with a big finish. It's a three-point game.
Toronto Raptors, their last two possessions have been fast break opportunities.
Let's go. Williams. Lorenzen Wright. Down the lane. Here's Person. 10 on the shot clock. And a foul committed by McCoy. That'll be his third. Next home game is a week from today at 3 o'clock, same start time, and Penny Hardaway returns along with the Phoenix Suns. For tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or go online at Grizzlies.com. The Suns and the Grizz next Sunday, 3 o'clock at the Pyramid. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS. Tickets are available. Here's Person. Doesn't fall. And underneath, Antonio Davis stumbling, gets the rebound. Three-point game. Grizzlies lead. And a whistle. And a timeout taken by the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors an opportunity to cut the lead to one or tie it with a three. Timeout on the floor. And we'll be back with more from the Pyramid right after this. Jimmy Brown urging Pau Gasol to be more aggressive. He has 9 points and 9 rebounds. And your Jerry West thoughts on Pau Gasol?
I think he will become a bigger focal point of the offense when it becomes more fluid, where he tells the coach, I want to catch the ball here. This is where I'm most effective. That's going to take some time. But this is a wonderfully gifted player, and the sky's the limit for him.
That was certainly the case. Pau Gasol, NBA Rookie of the Year, and certainly sore after playing Friday night against Shaquille O'Neal, and 9 points, 9 rebounds. Of course, had a double-double on opening night against Dallas. His lone double-double of the season, 27 points and 10 rebounds. So 1 point and 1 rebound shy of getting his second of the season. Carter, only his second shot attempt here in the third quarter. Tough angle with the left hand, second unit on the floor for Hubie Brown.
Carter just degree of difficulty on that shot very high. Some kind of way got it to spin in the left hand.
Grizzlies have just 1 point of the last 2:20, and they turn it over. Not a good sign. A 1 point game with 3:17 to go here in the third quarter. Jackson, along with Bradley Carter, Alvin Williams, and McCoy on the floor. On Friday night, Carter, Alvin Williams, as the shot goes up, and it does not fall. And Antonio Davis, all three never left the floor. They were all there together at one point or another.
Grizzlies second unit have to come in and play with the same intensity they played with in the first half. Toronto has gotten in a little rhythm offensively.
Watson, 5 of the shot clock. Had more time than that. Got in a hurry. Here's Jackson up top. Watson drapes him. Jackson nudges off. Shot goes up and it falls, and Toronto with the lead. It's their first lead since it was 19-18 early in the second quarter.
They've gotten the lead. The Grizzlies are playing good defense. They've just made some difficult shots. Nice friendly bounce by Jackson.
Mike Batiste jumps up over Carter, and he gets the roll. The Grizzlies' first field goal in quite some time. In 4 minutes, in fact. Batiste stumbles. Carter waits for him just to dissect him as he drives. Shot doesn't fall. Carter does, and he'll head to the free throw line.
98% of the players in the league That's a block shot by Batiste. Plays good defense and challenges the shot up top. Vince Carter extends a little higher, almost gets it to fall.
77% on the season. He misses the first. The top vote getter for the NBA All-Star game the last 3 years. This is his third game back. Had 16 points against New York in 24 minutes. Boston, he had 23 points in 37 minutes. And here on this afternoon, already 20 points on 9 of 19 shooting as he gets a second. And it's tied at 63. 1:36 remaining here in the third quarter. Lorenzen right. Guarded by Jelani McCoy. Earl Watson in the lane. Good job of Watson getting into that zone.
A good pump fake by Earl Watson. Getting Jackson off his feet, going down the middle of the lane, creating a better shot for himself.
Watson just 1 of 5 from the floor, so he put it on the floor and he went to the hole. Here's Carter thinking about going to the hole. He can do that. Great defense, tries to save it. Memphis basketball, and Carter wants to call.
And I'm not exactly sure if Carter was going to the basket to get the foul or to make the basket, create the contact. I have no idea, but now Vince Carter moves.
Grizzlies shooting 41%. Toronto's really heated it up here in the third quarter. They're shooting 42% at one point. They were 7 of 9 from the floor. 6 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. Lorenzen takes it and makes it. Are you kidding me?
Lorenzo bails Stroh out. Stroh held the ball too long in the offense at the top of the key. Move the ball.
4-point game. Carter. Batiste on him. Watson comes to tie it up. And a whistle as Vince and Watson get tangled up. And a foul on Earl Watson. And Carter heads back to the free throw line. And for Earl, that is his third. Wanted a jump ball. Is what Earl wanted. That's what he was looking for.
That was a good double team on Vince Carter. Make someone else beat you. If he's on the post where you know he can score, has the move to get his shot, make him pass it out.
Carter gets the second. Now 2 of 4 from the free throw line and a game high at 21 points. Towards the bench of the Memphis Grizzlies, outscoring the Toronto Raptors. It was significant on Friday night, 34-30, although they lost to the Lakers in overtime. What a sensational game. This certainly has a different pace to it. 5 of the shot clock. Nice find. Batiste, mile acrobatic shot doesn't go. 3-point game. Opportunity to tie or slice the lead to 1. Here's Vince Carter for the tie. Short. Swift. Shot goes up, and it pops out. UB Brown looking at David Jones about a foul. The Grizzlies head to the fourth quarter with a 3-point advantage over Vince Carter and the Raptors.
Dry ribs. Costillas secas. Wet ribs. Costillas mojados. Pulled, desmontado, chop, cortado. Bueno. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. Caliente.
Hawkins, the eldest son of Hersey Hawkins. Look at him go to the rack. Oh, he can get up there.
Yeah, I wondered how I never authorized that.
And here he is.
Here he is behind us.
Oh, I tell you what, give me 5 on that. That was good. Look at him turn and spin.
Yeah, he showed me a little something there. That may be an extra couple of dollars in allowance money.
Maybe not. The eldest of your 3 sons. Also Corey and Devin here. And the spin around the rim for Lorenzen. Riders come up large. 6.7 rebounds for Lorenzen coming off of the bench.
Lorenzen, he operates better from that left box where he can get back to that right-hand jump hook. Uses the glass extremely well.
Bradley finds Jackson for the easy layup. Of course, so much talk about This Raptor team which stumbled last year, losing 13 consecutive, and then coming back to finish by winning 12 of 14 and qualifying for the playoffs. Watson a big 2, and their slow start this year. And Lil Pete said, I wouldn't classify this any other way than we just need to have a sense of urgency. Just need to have a sense of urgency about what we do. Here's Mo Pete, blocked by Stromile Swift, and Lorenzen corrals it right in front of Hubie Brown. Watson pushing, and his pass deflected out of bounds by Peterson. Here's an interesting stat that we came across today. Fourth quarter scoring, Milwaukee Bucks #1, Golden State 2, Orlando 3, New Jersey 4, and the Memphis Grizzlies 5th in the league in fourth quarter scoring at 24.4 points a game.
The only team that surprises me in that group is Milwaukee, because they're a team that rely on their starters a lot, but the other 4 teams rely on their bench, so the starters are a lot fresher in the fourth quarter.
Here's Watson, second unit on the floor. Giracek running with the second unit right now. Stromile working on Bradley, ducks in the lane, tapped by Lorenzen Wright. They're going to wave it off. And a loose ball foul against Lorenzen Wright.
Big fella, Lorenzen, he's in there battling tonight.
Obviously, from that angle, we cannot tell.
But I like the effort. He's hitting the offensive glass hard.
See the bench points once again, a huge advantage for the Memphis Grizzlies. The second unit taking a lot of pride in their work as well. And that's so key if you're going to have a productive second unit, Hawk. 2 on the shot clock. Morris Peterson, no. Bradley sneaks around. Stromile Swift. And Stroh comes up hobbling.
And that happens so often when you're watching the ball rather than boxing out your man. He can sneak around you like Bradley did, came up with the offensive rebound.
There's Stromile, high post, hands it back to Watson. Drew Gooden will check in. Next opportunity. So will Antonio Davis for Toronto. Batiste rises up over Mo Pete. And Batiste 4 or 5 from the floor. 8 points on the season. Batiste averaging 5.5 points at 6 against the Lakers.
And Batiste using his size. A couple of dribbles, jumps right over Mo Pete, challenging him. He can't block the shot.
Jermaine Jackson, 10 of the shot clock. They'll swing it on the perimeter on the near side. Alvin Williams splits the lane. Shot goes up good. 3 minutes into this fourth quarter, and the Memphis Grizzlies lead by 3.
The guard has to do a better job of getting through that pick and roll quickly and squaring the offensive player up. They're giving him that angle to get to the lane.
The Grizzlies at one point led in the category of points in the paint and a blocking foul on Michael Bradley, and now they trail in that category by 6. The Raptors have 44 points in the paint, the Grizzlies 38. And the Toronto Raptors getting a lot of buckets down low on dribble penetration, but the Grizzlies bench responding. Mike Batiste on the offensive end has 8 points to the Grizzlies.
North Parkway runs east and west. East Parkway runs north and south. South Parkway kind of... 40 becomes Sam Cooper. And 55 becomes 240. At Malfunction Junction.
It's just $44, 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Pepsis, and a 6-pack of Pepsi products. The next Pepsi family night is Friday, December 13th against Yao Ming. And the Houston Rockets, of course, all those products could fit right in a lunchbox if you so choose, or you can wear it on your head. Watch out, the thunder sticks are getting massive over there. Get out of the way. Alani, our cameraman, here a check from the outside, the big 3.
Big basket by Giracek.
Huge. He's really been struggling from 3-point range. Giracek, last made 3 was better than a week ago in San Antonio.
That's a drought.
It is a drought. In fact, 7 of 28 since opening night when he was 4-6 against Dallas to clip at 25%. Jumps it on the inside. This is Lorenzen Wright, 6 points, 7 rebounds. Lorenzen, jumper, good. Lorenzen Wright finding his shooting touch, 4 of 11 now. 8.7 rebounds, and the Grizzlies expand their lead to 8, their largest 9.
Lorenzen creating the space without the dribble, raises up and knocks it down.
Cutting underneath, Peterson uses the right hand, the offhand, and Bradley the putback. Bradley 4 points and 5 rebounds. 23-year-old out of Villanova.
Now look in or rotate.
Good job sneaking in, getting offensive rebounds, has been very active.
Bradley, extremely active. A lot of sliding around the floor. Strohmeyer comes away with it. Here's Batiste. 2 for Mike Batiste in the double digits. He has 10.
Good hustle by both teams. Coming up with big plays. First with the steal by Bradley. Strohmeyer with the huge block, getting himself back into play. And the Grizzlies get the 2 points at the end of it.
For a moment, it looked more like a hockey game as everybody was sliding around. Here's Antonio Davis. Tough angle. You just hand it to him because Lorenzen was playing him like a wood tip.
Lorenzen did everything he could do on that defensive possession. Forced a tough fadeaway shot by Davis, but he knocked it down.
Let's go. Look at the whole thing.
6 of 8 in the fourth quarter. Strohmeyer puts it on the floor. That's good. The bench once again coming through with big productivity.
And the bench has also given the starters a little breathing room. Vince Carter's been on the bench, and they've taken advantage of it again.
34 points off the bench for the Memphis Grizzlies. Short. Rebound. Grizzlies. Opportunity to run. And the tired legs of Antonio Davis certainly starting to emerge. Second chance opportunity. Giracek hustling. Look at the minutes. Peterson 37, Davis 32, Alvin Williams 36, Carter 32. The Grizzlies not one starter over 25 minutes. And that has certainly become a difference as Bradley's going to get charged with the foul. And Lenny Wilkins cannot believe the call as he looks out at Mike Callahan. 5:42 remaining here. The Memphis Grizzlies leading 82-74. Strohmeyer Swift with 6 points.
Hey, Bernie Mac here. Who you with? See, just because people say you know what I mean, don't assume you know what they're talking about. It's just a bad habit.
Know what I mean? I was like, bam! My clothes, they were like, bam! I was telling everybody, they were like, what? Know what I mean?
What is he talking about?
Passing one of them coats.
You see that? Bam! He didn't get one.
Where's my Pepsi at?
Oh, he didn't ask for one. Boom! You know what I mean? Ask for a Pepsi, you get a Pepsi.
Boom!
At Backyard Burgers, we're always trying to build a better sandwich. Introducing our all-new Buffalo Ranch Chicken Sandwich. We start with our famous Southern-style chicken tenderloins, add our own special spicy backyard buffalo sauce, then we add crisp lettuce and top it off with cool, creamy ranch dressing. But get it while it's hot, because this sandwich is only available for a limited time. So visit Backyard Burgers and let us build a Buffalo Ranch Chicken Sandwich for you today. And if it's not the best you've ever tasted, we'll gladly give you your money back.
My name's Bill, and I'm a money coach. You could say, I'm in it for the money. Every dollar has potential. Money doesn't want to work hard. I train it to work hard. First Tennessee's Priority Choices Checking has this investment sweep feature that can earn more interest. It's a good deal. We're not all made of money. Well, some of us are.
Grizzlies lead by 8.
Strohmeyer gets up off the ground. Great anticipation, gets over and blocks the shot, and Batiste on a fast break maneuvers right around Antonio Davis, who was trying to take the charge. Gets 2 points there. Strohmeyer uses his quickness up top. Goes right around the defender for 2 points, then comes right back. The defensive player closed on him, tried to jam him. Gets to the free throw line.
You see the Grizzlies bench, and they're taking a lot of pride in that work. Now they have carved out for themselves, and when you look around the league at the most productive benches, Chicago with Donyell Marshall leading that charge. Their bench averages 39.3 points a game. Washington is second. Of course, a lot of that had to do with Michael Jordan. Of course, Jordan now back in the starting lineup. They average 38.6. Detroit, known as the Accelerators, 38.6 points a game. Weak side board. Davis, second chance. Milwaukee's fourth at 35.8, and then Utah at 35.6. Vince Carter, sweet move. Carter with just 6 shots here in the second half. He has 23 points.
We have to give Vince Carter credit. He takes a lot of jumpers, but he takes a lot of difficult shots and makes a lot of them.
Tough shot. That one went down and then popped back out. 7-point game. And Hubie Brown urging his unit to get back. Davis finds Carter for 3. In and out. Tapped and kept alive by Jackson. Here's Alvin Williams. Baseline. Bradley sticks it.
Bradley has come in, made solid contributions for Toronto today. Has been one of the more active and aggressive big men on the floor for Toronto, diving for loose balls, playing tough defense in the post.
Averaging 14 and a half minutes a game. He's played 18 on 4 or 5 shooting here this afternoon.
Bradley showing us that he can knock down the outside shot also. Vince Carter has mastered the runner.
Well, Michael Bradley, I mean, this is a guy that led the Wildcats a couple years ago at Villanova in scoring, almost 21 a game, rebounding at almost 10, field goal percentage at 69%. He ranked first in the nation in field goal percentage, 16th in rebounding, and 20th in scoring. Although he wasn't a household name, he did a lot of damage and was a unanimous selection to the 2001 All-Big East Conference first team. He started to pick up that year. A lot of people realize that this is a big guy that can possibly do something. And he left Villanova early to get into the NBA. Of course, as he said, I already had sat out a year after transferring from Kentucky, so it's not as if he was 19 or 20 years of age. Bradley is 23 years of age and in his second season.
And he's showing that he knows how to play it, understands the game, and if you can get a big man that knows how to play the game, you definitely want to take a chance on him.
6'10", 230 pounds. Williams finds Pau Gasol. Davis on him. Pau, 10 of the shot clock, spins, shoot. Bradley right there for the rebound. He has 8 points, 8 rebounds, streaking ahead. And Alvin Williams with 16 points. The Grizzlies, their lead sliced to 3. Their largest second-half lead stood at 8. Toronto charging back in. 4 minutes now remaining here at the Pyramid. The Grizzlies have won 2 of their last 3. Vince Carter climbs up and grabs it. Grizzlies got to stiffen up on the defensive end.
Luckily, that ball had no chance at going in. Vince Carter still showing us he can elevate.
Davis using his muscle and pops out, and Gasol is going to be charged with the foul. That'll be his second. Shane Battier telling Pau, get in the huddle. Get in the huddle. Let's talk about exactly what we're doing. Don't worry about that last call.
And it's Shane Battier leading the huddle. The high Vince Carter gets up. Drew Gooden sort of slips out his hand. He was so high, I think you still have to give that basketball an opportunity to get to the rim. It was short.
Wesley Person back in for Giericek. 8 of 16 are the Raptors from the free throw line. The Grizzlies 9 of 12, and an 8-0 run by the Raptors. It's a 1-point game.
And the Raptors, each time they get themselves back into the basketball game by either fast break or taking the ball to the basket. So the Grizzlies have to try to keep them on the perimeter when they haven't been that efficient.
Good in. No, but Battier flies in and flushes it. Battier tying a season-high 14 points.
Vince Carter can score, but he's done a terrible job tonight at blocking Shane off the offensive glass. Shane has been able to get there several times while Vince has been watching.
Vince slips. Battier jams him. Frees up. Drive. Shot doesn't go, and a foul's going to be called. And a foul's going to be charged to Shane Battier, who tied a season high with 14 after this putback. He had 14 November 4th against San Antonio. Battier crashing the boards. The Grizzlies Television Network is brought to you by First Tennessee, all things financial. Pepsi, the joy of cola. Toyota, test drive the official truck of the Memphis Grizzlies. Get the feeling Toyota. And by Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. A Sunday evening here in Memphis, Tennessee, and Shane Battier, 14 points and 8 rebounds, has done a solid job on Vince Carter, just picked up his first personal. What has changed the complexion of this game, Hersey, over the course of the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds, the Raptors have out-rebounded the Grizzlies 6-1 as Carter gets both, and he now has tabulated 25 points.
Raptors have been more aggressive, but have wanted it more than the Grizzlies the last 4 or 5 minutes. And it was when the substitutions were made from the second unit to the first unit. They came in a little tight.
Gasol into double digits. He has 11 points and 9 rebounds. That's his first made bucket of the fourth quarter. Grizzlies by 3. Good into a 2. Jay Will is yet to attempt a shot here in the fourth. Alvin Williams underneath. Swarmed in with a pack of Grizzlies surrounding him. Up and under move. And Antonio Davis has 14 points and 12 rebounds in this one-point game. 2:15 to go.
That's what you call just using your strength to take everybody up to the basket with you.
Good and hook. Pops out. Gasol trying to crash the boards. And Mo Pete steps in and delivers it to Alvin Williams. Williams trying to use the screen. Good in. And last touch by Memphis Toronto basketball. And Drew said, hey, it was not off of me. And Brendan Brown jumping up. And Bill Kennedy said, hey, that was not my call. As Person taps it out of bounds. And David Jones said, no, it was off of Toronto. And a 20-second timeout taken by the Toronto Raptors. 1:55 remaining, and Drew Good just telling David Jones, hey, listen, I didn't touch it last. He said, did you touch the ball? He said, yes. He goes, okay.
But that shows you Drew Good's quickness, being able to guard the pick and roll.
Tuesday night, 9:30, Grizzlies open up a 3-game Western road trip, and you can join us along the Grizzlies Television Network. It's a rematch of Friday night's thriller in overtime. It's the Grizzlies and the Lakers Tuesday 9:30 on PAX in Memphis and across the Grizzlies Television Network. And then the Grizzlies, of course, move on to Phoenix to see Penny Hardaway and to wrap up that trip against the Utah Jazz with Karl Malone and John Stockton. And Drew Gooden still having a few words with David Jones, and the Grizzlies with 2 full, Toronto with 2 full, and each with a foul to give, and Peterson will inbound the basketball. One-point game, 1:54 to go. Davis, hand in the face by Powell. Under 10 of the shot clock. Davis backing down, fading, tough angle, shot doesn't go, tapped up. Gasol has his 10th rebound.
Nice defense by Powell. Davis has made that shot several times tonight, but it hasn't been against a longer player like Powell. Good job of challenging the shot.
Second double-double for Pau Gasol. Under 10 of the shot clock, and Carter takes it away.
Very uncharacteristic of Shane. You don't see him make turnovers that often, feeding the post.
It's the Grizzlies' 12th of the game. Offensive, great job. Battier gets it back. And he he turned to Hubie Brown and he said, "My bad about that turnover."
I'm quite sure Hubie says, "That's okay. You came right back and got it for us." Cuts off the baseline. Gets the benefit of the ball.
He has really turned it on over the last week. Alvin Williams bats it out of bounds. Memphis basketball, minute remaining, 12 seconds. His imprint is all over this game. That, of course, of Shane Battier, 14 points and 8 rebounds, 6 of 8 from the floor.
8 seconds on the shot. Plenty time to get a good shot.
Peterson picks up the foul. That's his second. 14 seconds on the shot clock. 54 seconds remaining here. The Grizzlies, winners of 2 of their last 3. 2-1 on this homestand. Person stumbles. Good in, 6 on the clock. Too strong. Tapped out. Alvin Williams driving. Battier went for the block. And a timeout taken by the Memphis Grizzlies. The Raptors lead by 1, 88-87. Gooden just having an off night, shooting 4 of 17 from the floor after putting together 2 games in which he averaged 21 points and 9 rebounds.
Alvin Williams makes a heck of a shot. And he sees out the corner of his eye Shane's coming in to block the shot. Fully extended. Alvin Williams throws it high off the glass. Puts the Raptors up 1.
18 points for Alvin Williams, 5 rebounds and 7 assists. Raptors led by Vince Carter. Greg Foster, the lone member of that starting 5 in double digits. Well, you want to talk about heavy minutes. 41 for Alvin Williams, Morris Peterson 40, Davis 37, Carter 37. Michael Bradley off of the bench with 22. And they are not worn out yet on the Raptors. They have a 1-point advantage with 38.2 tenths of a second to go. Super Grizz standing in the middle of the court, urging the crowd here to get off their feet. Encouragement of the Memphis Grizzlies, who played a stellar game on Friday night, but came up short in overtime against the Lakers. Defeated Seattle, and of course started this great week by beating Michael Jordan and the Wizards. Memphis 2-6 under Hubie Brown, holding teams on the defensive end certainly better. Shot productivity is up, free throw shooting up, rebounding up, points scored up, everything's up. Defensive category, things are down, which is good.
I like 2 options coming out of this pick and roll. Powell on the post, or either Jason with the pick and roll and Powell involved in it, getting Davis involved in the play.
There's Powell. Battier in the corner. Powell goes up strong. It's blocked by Antonio Davis.
The Grizzlies have to foul.
And they do. Battier was camped out in the corner, and Powell just never saw him.
Good move by Powell. He gets by the defensive player, but then he takes the ball right into Antonio Davis. If he can go up with that with his left hand, he's away from Antonio Davis, and he can create the contact and possibly get the draw to foul.
No fouls to give. So the foul on Jason Williams, and Alvin Williams heads to the free throw line where he is 1 of 3. Although he is not that poor of a shooter on the season. Williams, 82%, was 4 of 5 on Friday night against Boston. Now a 2-point game. This is one of those games for the Toronto Raptors that could certainly turn the tide. You win your first 2 on a 4-game road trip, and things seem a little bit brighter. And the Grizzlies now trail by 3 with 15 and a half seconds remaining in this contest. And Memphis led by as many as 8 here in the second half. But that youthful starting 5 stumbling a little bit at times. And Drew Gooden just having it off Knight shooting 4 of 17. Don't forget, you can see the Grizzlies play each and every game for just $5 thanks to the Sonic Saver seats. Tickets go on sale at noon every game day, only at the Pyramid box office. Next home game is next Sunday at 3 o'clock against Penny Hardaway and the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, Matt, during the course of an 82-game season in the NBA, you win games sometimes that you should lose, and you lose games because that you play great in that you should win. And if the Raptors can get out of here today with the victory, this is one that they've stole because they've been outplayed by the Grizzlies in a lot of areas, and the Grizzlies have controlled the game for pretty much 43 to 44 minutes. The Raptors' quick run here in the fourth quarter has an opportunity to steal it.
Grizzlies led offensively by Battier with 14 points. They have 4 in double digits. Good. 4 of 17, as I mentioned. Gasol, 5 of 13. Jason Williams with 11 points. 4 of 6 shooting. Off of the bench, Mike Batiste, 5 of 7.
Jason Williams, the player that has made big shots for the Grizzlies, only 1 field goal attempt in the second half, but I would still put the ball in his hands. He's the guy I would want to take this shot.
On the inbounds, Gasol turns. Gasol trying to back down. Person in the corner. No! Tapped up. Gasol. Williams. Breakout. It's over. Difficult loss for the Memphis Grizzlies. Difficult loss at home for the Memphis Grizzlies. They had Person in the corner. As you know, Wesley Person, with the way that he's been shooting the three-point shot, that is a good option.
Vince Carter helping on the post and gave Wesley Person a good look at it. Had to shoot it a little higher than what he's used to, but as you said, your best three-point shooter on the team has a good look at it. You'll take it.
The other thing, too, is that Powell also had Jason Williams around the top of the three-point circle as well. It's 92 to 87. The Toronto Raptors beating the Memphis Grizzlies. Carter 11 to 25. 27 points, 6 rebounds. And right now joining Eric Hasseltine is Alvin Williams, who finished with 20 points and 8 assists. Eric?
Guys, one of the big keys in this game, obviously Alvin Williams, 20 points tonight. You were able to take the ball to the basket and really break down the defense in the second half. What was the difference after the first half where you guys struggled?
Just spread out the floor. We were patient on offense. I think we did a real good job. Everyone who came in the game did a good job of being patient and using each other.
How much does it help the offense to have a scoring threat like Vince Carter back in the lineup for you guys?
It helps the offense, helps the mentality, it helps the whole league, basically, having them back. But, it's just good. It eases the pressure off a lot of other players and stuff like that. He's a good player.
A tough start to the season, but 2 wins on this 4-game road trip. You got to be heading out on the next trip with a lot of confidence.
Definitely. We played Dallas, tough team. Everyone knows that. But we're going to give them a good fight. We're going to be trying to win.
Alvin, thank you very much for your time. Good luck tomorrow night. Guys, Alvin Williams, a big factor tonight, using his size advantage against Jason Williams. That was one of the keys to the victory for the Raptors. Back over to you.
Thank you very much. The Toronto Raptors now 6-10. They've won 2 in a row after losing 6 consecutive. The Memphis Grizzlies finished their 4-game homestand 2-2. We'll have
on the bench that also helped the Raptors win this basketball game. And Vince Carter can score multiple of ways, hitting the three-pointer, getting to the basket, was great at getting into the lane, shooting the floater. A good game for Vince.
When you look at the Toronto Raptors on the inside, the Raptors certainly have struggled. And one of the reasons why is because they've had injuries. Jerome Junkyard Dog Williams is not even with the team. He's back in Toronto. Now, when you look at the Toronto Raptors this evening, this was a team that did not have Greg Foster for every minute that they wanted. Why? Because he got into foul trouble. So emerging, coming off of the bench in his second year at a Villanova University, 8 points and 9 rebounds. Michael Bradley was sensational.
You wait on opportunities to get into the game, to have a positive impact, to make a contribution. Michael Bradley got in there tonight and did exactly what he was supposed to, which is go in, change the pace of the game, offensive rebounding, a lot of hustle plays out of him. The defense was solid. So after tonight, you can expect Michael Bradley to get more minutes on the court.
And this is something that a lot of people don't realize about Michael Bradley. He has a lot of tools and skills, and he showed that tonight on the inside and also facing up and knocking down jumpers.
Yeah, that surprised me, his ability to knock down the outside shot. And I thought early in the game he didn't have the lift to finish on the inside against players as athletic as Stroh and Gooden and Powell, but he showed he can also finish on them. So he surprised me tonight.
Shane Battier tied a season high with 14 points. On November 4th, he had 14 against San Antonio. It's been a long time since Shane has seen 14, and he got a lot of that because he was crashing the offensive boards, 14 points, and then he also had 8 rebounds.
Yeah, Shane Battier, he's the one player in the starting lineup that you really don't have to run a lot of plays for. He plays off of everyone else. He spots up in transition. He'll hit the offensive glass like he did tonight. And when he has nights like this, it only makes the Grizzlies better because he gives you that 4th or 5th scoring option on the team that, you know, a lot of people can't guard.
All right, well, the star player of the game, of course, Shane Battier, and Star will donate $1,000 in his name to a 4-year Tennessee university of his choice. And we will be back with more from the Pyramid right after this. Pau Gasol, his second double-double of the season, and another chance to beat L.A.